Hi, I'm Anna. I'm a co-chief creative officer at Black Hat Comics, and I am a medical student by day and a comic book creator by night.
Hi, my name is Mwiche, and I'm a comic book creator. I am the chief co-creative officer of Black Hat Comics and co-creator of the comic book Alex. Yeah, and I'm also a medical student by day and comic book artist by night and weekends. So yeah, yeah.
Every moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Basically, Black Hat is a comic book company that we started around 2018. So we were the co-creative officers of the company. Yeah, big title, right?
Nice, very nice.
So, yeah, feels good.
Yeah.
Yes, so we make comic books and we also try to encourage like literacy and reading so that we make content that's easier to digest for the masses. And we also encourage like comic book writers out there to come and join us so that they can write their stories. They can have a platform where they can write their stories and draw their art. So that's what we do. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I believe you're both medical students, but you still
Yes.
time medical students by day, superheroes by night.
Superheroes.
Yes.
Like the people we write about.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I think to be juggling a demanding studies like that and also this empire that you're creating must be quite tough.
Yeah, yeah, it is. But many people multitask.
Yes,
But like
yes.
for me personally, I've been juggling school and drawing comic books since I was 12, so it's not something that's new. So and then mostly because I don't have a social life, and so there's not really. Don't say that. I don't really go out much. Other students distressed by going out to chill with friends, going out clubbing, partying. For me, my ideal weekend is a pencil, paper, and
Yeah.
sketching and distressing with art, working on the comic books. Yeah.
That is absolutely
So,
amazing.
yeah.
Because it's similar for me because art offers me a way to just relieve my stress. So it's not like I'm trying to juggle art and school. It's sort of helping me to relieve my stress from school. Yeah.
Yes, I see. Okay, that's very interesting. I feel like I wish I had something that I was so passionate about when I was in varsity. Sounds great.
Never too late.
So now you're both editors of Alex, which I think was your first comic that you created, and then also Titan. So I don't know if between the two of you you'd like to tell me about the storylines or the premise of each of those.
Okay, so I will tell you about Alex. Yes, we are the co-creators of Alex. It was born out of stress one day. Yeah. We were so stressed out, then we started acting crazy, and thus Alex was born.
Amazing.
Before a test. It was before a test.
It was before it.
And then where you want to do everything else aside from study for the test.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's what we did. So Alex is like our baby. It's our firstborn.
Yeah.
So it's the story of two worlds that are colliding. So we have the one world, which is the Alex, which receives some visitors. So these people are like strangers. The people of Alex don't know them. They've never met them. They've never seen people who are like them. So they try to find out whether these people are good or bad. Like, what intentions do you have? Where are you from? What do you want to do? So that's basically the story that we try to tell. We'll tell you the story of how they meet with the first soldier who encounters them, and as they go along to discover more things. So that's the story that we tell. Yeah. And it's like a mystery, sci-fi, fantasy. So I don't want to give away too much.
People must buy the comics.
Yes.
Yes.
Buy the comics. Buy the comics.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then Titan is is your classic superhero story created by Mazuba Chimbeza, one of our youngins in the group.
Yeah. Shout out Mazuba.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, as I said, it's a classic superhero story. It follows Felix, who goes on a school field trip that changes his life forever. And yeah, he has superpowers, and there are bad guys, there are villains that he has to battle against. Yeah, so it's your basic classic superhero story. Really cool. Yeah. So our job basically is to make sure that Mazuba delivers the story the way he wants to, and we make sure the audience receives it the way he wants it to be delivered, and make sure it's clear, it's easy to read, easy to follow. Yeah.
And if there are any like potholes in there, we make sure we fill them up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so you have guidance as to continuity and language and all that.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then you do the drawing then, the illustrations.
I do the drawing for Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do the drawing for Alex, and she does the lettering.
Yes, I stick to lettering. I can't draw. It's hard.
I love it, but the lettering is such a feature of comic books as well. So that's absolutely awesome.
Yes, thank you. Beautiful. It's hard work.
Yeah.
So now I was thinking, are comics, is there a big comic culture, pop culture in Zambia? Or do you feel like you need to create a market, or how do you feel people are receiving comics generally in Zambia?
The market pretty much doesn't exist. It's very small. You only get to see local comic books at Lusaka Comic Con, which is also just a recent thing. It's just coming up. That's the only time you get to see other small companies also trying to show their work. But after that, you don't get to see any comic books anywhere. We don't even have a place to get international comic books, like comic books from other countries.
Yeah.
That's how that's how
pretty bad.
bad it is. So it's an emerging market, and we hope to be, to break that and
help people
at least.
Yeah.
Try to get the culture of reading.
Yeah.
Like, we want to get the culture of reading started.
Yeah, reading comic books.
That's amazing that you look at them also as an educational tool, which, because it's kind of exciting and it's fun and it makes it easier to read. So I think that's amazing. I mean, I take it you're quite passionate about literacy then and see it as a way forward.
Yes. Yeah. And I think I remember in high school, I didn't really like reading a lot of novels because they were so big and there were words and words. But then comic books are like, hey, picture.
They save like
70%
of the job.
Yes. So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You get to be entertained with very minimal words.
That's wonderful. And entertaining is the word, because it's just fun and exciting and enjoyable. Yeah. And I mean, just taking people into another dreamland almost must be such a feeling to know that you can do that.
Yes.
It's just fun to create stories that maybe people can relate to. Sometimes, life can get very boring, like somebody said, with no social life. So in a comic book, you could be the star. Yes. Be a hero, the knights, So comic books offer that.
No limits to that whatsoever. And have you ever done digital drawing, or are you guys chiefly about pen and paper?
So initially before I joined Black Hats, I never thought that I would, ever release or publish any comic book at this age. I thought, that's just this is just going to remain a hobby. But then after joining Black Hat, I was introduced to inking and digital arts, and I can say that I hated it because I couldn't understand the software at all. It was so annoying. I was so because we had to learn how to use it in such a short amount of time in order to be ready for Lusaka Comic Con. But after learning how to use the software now, I'm in love with it.
She's a pro.
I'm not yet a pro. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. It's something that, of course, you get to see different tricks, different techniques. coming up with a good style and coming up with something that, your own. Yeah, so I think, and digital is the future. It's the way to go. So digital is something that, most of our issues now, not most of them, all the issues now have digital coloring incorporated into them. Yeah, so digital is the
Digital.
future.
Digital. and what was I'm not familiar with Lusaka Comic Con and how how well attended it is. Like, what is it like?
It's new. It's new, so it's not. You don't really have a lot of people coming in. We don't really have like a huge,
not yet,
huge space. Not yet.
Not yet.
So we just have like small halls. We just rent small halls. For now. So the turnout isn't really. It's very few people, and it's a small community because very few people are interested in things like comic books and anime, manga. The community is still small. So you find that to find the same people who attended last year are the same people who attend this year or the next year. So we're hoping to like grow the community so that more people can come for LSK Con. So that like we can actually now start inviting international people to come. But it's really nice because at least we got to see cosplay. That's one thing I was so excited about. Like the cosplay, people actually were serious, like really serious about it. That was so exciting.
I was like, yes,
it was like Star Wars. There was Attack on Titan. Harry Potter. People went all out. There was like female Loki.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. So it was nice to see that happening here in Zambia. I was like, oh wow. Yeah, so it really, really inspired us to really push and work hard as a company and hope that, we could go big and make this, finally get our characters being also cosplayed.
Yes.
Like that
also cosplayed. Yes.
That would be the ultimate cosplay.
Holding thumbs for you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we found as well is the more people that come, the more people come because they also have experiences with each other. So I'm sure you're going to see great strides in the Lusaka Comic Con.
Yes. Already there's a good sign because the first one we attended, we were in a smaller hall. Then the next one there was like a bigger hall. Yeah. So when the halls are getting bigger, it's a good sign.
Yeah. Then Yes. Absolutely awesome. Because this is Women's Month, I did want to ask a question about, women, and I wanted to know, what do you think? I've read that sometimes women are blocked from owning land in Zambia, and of course this is across the world. Like, as women, we struggle across the world to be heard sometimes. But what do you think about women's rights in Zambia? Are they making good headway? Are we getting places?
Well, for women's rights in Zambia, I think it's a global pandemic. We're all feeling it. The problem is the same everywhere. Yes. But yes, I feel like we are making strides as we move along and try to incorporate and see everybody as equals. But I feel like we also take ourselves backwards when we start to shame one another or not protect one another. I feel
or choose to keep quiet about the situation. I think that's one of the reasons that as she said, that brings us back. When you choose to keep quiet about it, and those are the habits that we see amongst women, or when family members tell you to keep quiet about violence or not being treated properly in the home. So otherwise, when we jump that bridge, I think more people need to be more aware. I think we'll go somewhere. But as for land, then you asked about land. As for the land allocation for such things, the constitution, there's the division of land between land owned by the state and then land owned by the chiefs in the rural areas. So for the urbanized areas, the constitution doesn't have a bias towards gender. Anyone can own land. But for the rural areas, it's chiefs who decide who gets to own land, and some chiefs are biased towards the males getting land. Yeah, according to the customary laws. Yeah, only males can inherit land, women can't inherit land. But there are many movements and many organizations NGOs that are trying to educate the rural areas on such issues and to encourage them to give women a chance as well to own land. So it's still something that's being worked on, and hopefully as we go into the future.
Yes, we can move with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Look, I feel like it's a problem around the world, isn't it? You know, I think, and I spoke to an interesting lady the other day who said she's preferring these Zoom interviews with this COVID pandemic because she said people don't get to make assumptions based on your height or, you know, anything.
Oh, yeah.
As a person.
What you look like. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I think this should be the future.
Yes, exactly. So now I have to just read from here because I want to give the right words that you used. So Anna, you said that you view art and as freedom and an escape from the everyday circle, which I think is so beautiful. And I was wondering, what is your favorite part of the artistic process?
So since I'm a writer, so that's my area of expertise. Yes.
Yes.
So I feel that my favorite part of the artistic process is when we get to create a story. And then as we're creating the story, we start to bounce ideas off of each other. Like, oh, where do we take this? It can start off this way, but then end up another way. So I feel like that's the most exciting part of it all. Because you don't really see where it's going or what you're trying to do until after you're done. And you're like, oh, wow, that was beautiful. So I think that's my favorite part of the artistic process, especially when I'm doing it with this girl.
That's magical. I love that. And then, Mwiche, you said, okay, here are the words, storytelling is a form of art in its own right, which is also very beautiful. So I just wanted to know, what you wanted to elaborate on that, perhaps? What your favorite moment is.
Okay, so storytelling is amazing because it's something that we've been doing as human beings from time immemorial, since the beginning. So it's a great way to pass on information. But what I love most about storytelling is, you know, when we say God, we're made in God's image, and, you know, God is the creator of you know, of the world, of all things. So in the same way, because we are made in His image, we get to also create. We also love to create things, and stories are one of the things that allow you to be God over something, because you get to decide the fate of a character. You get to decide when they live, when they die. You create laws and rules in your world. You know, you create a whole universe. You have world building. It's just so exciting to just imagine and explore. You know, so anything goes. You can have Queen Elizabeth and the Loch Ness monster and dragons going on a quest, and it's your world. You have the power over it, and you get to control it. So that's what I love about storytelling. It's a wonderful way to express yourself creatively, and it's something that I think is very beautiful, and I'm glad to be part of, and hope to be part of till I die.
Well, with the passion that I can see you both have, there's no ways you're giving up comics anytime soon.
So I'm sure this was like in an anime, the flame back.
So you say you both love anime, and that actually an animated part of your is on the card. So is that very exciting?
Yes, it's very, very exciting. Anime it offers just so much. I mean, there's just a whole large variety that you can just pick from, you know, like find what you like. Oh, do you like sports? We have something for you. Do you like, I don't know, fairy princesses? We have. It's just an amazing world to be part of. I think I'm inspired by it all the day, all the time, everywhere, 24/7, 365.
That's amazing. And then you're both from Lusaka and Ndola, which I believe are very big cities in Zambia. So I was wondering if you met someone who was from a more rural area and maybe couldn't imagine, like what a city is like much like here. And what would you say to them about how they can get into a career like you have made?
For that question, I believe you have to be a success in order to encourage others to do what you're doing. And because of the background that we're coming from, here in Zambia, they really encourage white collar jobs. Become a doctor, become a lawyer, be a teacher.
Yeah.
Yes. So
much more secure.
yes, much more
There's
secure
more
jobs.
security with a white collar job.
Yes. So if they see that you can actually make a whole career out of this or a living out of what you're doing, then I believe people will begin to emulate you. So I think the best advice I can give to someone in a rural area is to become a success myself, so that they can also want to be what I am.
Yeah. That's really lovely. That's really lovely. So would you say that in Zambia there is a lot of space for creative expression? Like, are there galleries, or are there moments where you get a chance to show what you're doing to the world or to your country?
I'd say not really. They are there, but you only find them in places like Lusaka, because it's the capital city, or in Livingstone, which is the tourist capital. And the thing is, because the local support is not very good. I mean, there's lots of room for creativity, but like she said, there's
Muting myself there with my dog, sorry.
Yeah, so they tend to favor the white collar job first. So for creativity, at least now we see, at least musicians are now coming up. We're supporting our musicians more, and we're seeing them big success stories. But for art itself, there are a few galleries that I've been to, that I've seen. But for us, like comic book arts, like I said, the only chance that we've had so far is the Lusaka Comic Con. So hopefully we should.
Oh, also animate.
Oh, and animate as well. So hopefully we can get a chance to have our books on display, maybe in bookshops. That would be nice. So, but otherwise, as of now, the local support isn't very strong. Yeah, so we're hoping to overcome that by, of course, working hard to spread the word that we exist. Comic book art is also a form of art, and it's something that should be given a chance to. Yeah.
And also,
I
feel
also
like
feel like people who are artists don't really get to get a lot of equipment, because there are not a lot of art shops around here, so you can't get exactly what it is that you want. And if you do find an art shop, they are really expensive.
Yes,
so it's an expensive hobby and career. Yeah, so you put in so much, but you get very little.
Because it's
somehow discouraging.
Yeah, there's not a lot of support. Again, because you're like, I might start doing art, but what are the chances of finding someone to buy my art? And then there's also, with equipment, as she said before, you have to substitute a lot. Like, instead of using the correct ink, you have to find something else that can work the same way, but it's not as good, or you have to order online. Or take, for example, things like drawing tablets. You can't find those here. You have to order them online. So that makes it also very difficult.
Okay, that's interesting. So those are kind of barriers that you face in Zambia. So, because we are mostly a South African audience, I actually also just wanted to ask you something a little bit off topic, which is what you absolutely love about Zambia as a country. Like, what makes your heart sing when you think about it?
Number one thing that I love about my country, the memes.
The memes.
Yes. Zambians, please don't stop making memes. They're so good.
The universal language.
Yes. I love the memes. Yes. And also I love how friendly we are.
We're so friendly.
It's kind of creepy.
No, it's great.
We're so welcoming. We're just like happy people. You meet a stranger like, hey, how are you? You can start a conversation with anyone. And what else?
I love our snacks. I love our snacks. I'm obsessed with our snacks.
That's awesome.
Eat our snacks than a bag of chips. Like, if I were to leave Zambia, I would really miss our snacks. Like, I love groundnuts, cassava. I love that.
When you come here, we will get you some Zambian snacks.
I look forward to it. I can definitely tell that Zambian people are super friendly, because I was a bit nervous to meet you because of your accolades.
Oh, really?
So thank you for putting it in. So thank you so much. I get in trouble when I go over 20 minutes. So
Okay.
yeah, so thank you so much for this conversation. It's been absolutely wonderful, and it's so great to get insights into Zambian life and comics and Zambia and art. It's been absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much for your time, and wishing you all the best of luck. And I can't wait till we're importing some Alex and some Titan into South Africa.
Woo! We can't wait.
It's gonna happen.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Cool.
It was nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, please meet Alex, meet Titan, meet Gino Wars, and you can follow us on Facebook. That is Black Hat Comics. And on Instagram, that's Black Hat Comics as well.
Yeah.
And then we also have our own webpage. It's blackhatcomics.wixsite.com. So www.blackhatcomics.wixsite.com.
You'll
find our
issues.
stuff.
Some issues.
That is absolutely awesome. So on your website, do you have little snippets of Alex and Titan and other?
Yeah, we actually have the issues.
There's a little bit of like
there's
slideshows going on.
Yeah.
Bouncy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I think there's going to be lots of people. I hope you see an increase in traffic from this interview.
We hope so too.